Hey, this is B from Kongs R Us, and I'm back with an Arcade1Up Star Wars pinball machine that I put back to stock from the last time I did a video. The last time you saw me, I was using version 2.1 of the Arcade1Up Pinball Installer Hack that installed 30 tables into one. I've since gone ahead and revamped and put everything back to stock. So you see me turning on my pinball machine right now. It should boot up only to the Star Wars table, so I was able to go back to 100% stock firmware using the 2.1 system. It essentially allowed you to make the system recognize itself as the Phoenix tool. I had to delete a driver, it was really complicated, but then I used the Arcade1Up Phoenix tool to reload the stock firmware image. So here I am running the stock Star Wars image. It launched straight to that table, and I'm running the Star Wars pinball machine right now only in this setup. So that's the Star Wars pinball machine. What I'm here to do to show you is a new version of version 3, which has some additional features and a brand new graphical user interface, a GUI, a GUI that Mystery Coder has taken the time to code for anybody who's had issues with this. He's been amazing to continue fighting the good fight to make sure that anybody that wants to do this potential mod can do it, and making it super easy and user friendly for anybody that's not familiar with PowerShell. So we're gonna get started and test it out. So he sent me version 3 just as a beta test. I'm going to set my PCB to the off mode. Normally you would reach around the back, unplug your machine, switch it to the off mode, plug in your USB connection, and then I have it ready here to install. So let's go ahead and take a look at what version 3 looks like. So right now this is the version 3.0 information, and this is it. This is all that's there: a launcher APK of A1Pinner v3 and some tools and all these things that he's written. So we're going to open up this graphical user interface, a nice little GUI here that says it's running integrity checks before use of the application. There's no PCB or network device connected. So here's the PCB setup section. There's APK installs, there's APK downloads, tools, dumps, and secret options. Ooh, so that's pretty fun to see what's going on. So if you don't already have the updates, it looks like you can just click on these buttons. You can download the Marvel, Star Wars, or Williams update. So let's go ahead and just click those buttons, and you can see that it's downloading from this place here that says www.arcade1up.com/pinball updates mbp.apk. So we will see if that is actually true, but that's the Marvel one. That's funny that he did that, so we'll see. I don't think those sites truly exist if you took this this URL and dumped it somewhere else, but that's funny that that's available. Let's go ahead and download the Star Wars one, and then we will go ahead and download the Williams one last. It's verifying the hash, and then the Williams one. So that's the last one there, and this is downloading pretty fast. I have gig speed internet, so depending on what your internet speed is, this could take a little while. But going back to our folder updates, it downloaded the 3 APKs, which is around 300 megs, 229 megs, and 200 megs for the Williams pack. So once we have everything downloaded, we are now going to take our USB from the PCB, plug it into our PC, okay, and I'm going to flip the on switch, and I just heard a sound, and now it says the integrity of the application has been verified and it's enabling functionality. And then this actually popped up now, so it says launch payload on PCB. So let's go ahead and click this and see what happens. Confirming the board is connected and operational. Error, no driver installed for PCB, and it's installing one. Extracting driver file success. Installing the drivers. Wow, it's automatically doing the installation of the right drivers. It's not, you don't have to open up the Zadig file anymore and find your device ID. It's actually finding the drivers for you, and so he's already built in the drivers to be working with the PC. So that's pretty freaking awesome, and you don't have to run PowerShell, you don't have to do anything. You're just clicking a button and it's telling you exactly what's happening here. So I think Mystery Coder, even though he said he didn't give an F about this mod for many of folk, he seems to really want to make sure most people can do this. And so I think it's fantastic that he's been able to write this for your average person that doesn't have to be familiar with command prompt or PowerShell. So integrity of the application was verified, enabling functionality. So I didn't do anything else besides this, so I'm going to go ahead and click that button one more time and see what happens. Confirming the board is connected and operational. Correct board detected. Booting A1Pinner v3. And now it's copying payload to the DRAM. Okay, so its estimated time, it's 5%, is 2 minutes left. So this is now connecting and copying some sort of payload to the DRAM. So this is new. This is me using this for the first time, testing it out, just testing out this version 3. And I guess he's renamed it instead of the Baller installer to not get confused with another front end that uses that same name. This is the A1Pinner A1Pinner V3 from your favorite mystery encoder that's put so much time into this. I just love the fact that Mystery Encoder has been trying to help the community. He's been joining several different places on Discord to try to help out those that have had issues. So if you are having issues, he is willing to help only as much as you are willing to put into effort. So there's some people that have weird setups, older PCs, things that aren't set up with a current updated Windows 10 interface. Maybe people are using Windows 7 or Windows 8 or something else. Some people are having network issues, some driver issues. So hardware issues aside, those are the things that's hard to troubleshoot, but he's pretty much been able to help out most people that have had any sort of software issue to get this up and running. So the good and bad thing about this graphical user interface, this GUI, is that it's doing all the legwork for you, right? It's copying the payload, it's doing all this information, but there's a little bit more trust you have to have in this because you're not seeing exactly what's happening in that simplified version of the PowerShell script where you can see everything that was happening. And so I think this is great for average folks and for folks that trust this and use it. I trust that Mystery Encoder has done a lot of legwork into making this as user-friendly and bulletproof, but there are those that will look at this and will blame the tool if something bad happens. And this is a tool that does not change most anything on the hardware side of things. It kind of uploads and downloads or the APKs or the actual software components of these APKs into your PCB, and then it's gonna run, hopefully by the end of this, a really freaking awesome front end. So if you thought the old front end with just the little logos were neat, I've seen some pictures of a different front end, and I'm hoping after I finish installing this, I will be able to see it on this interface here, just for educational purposes, just to see if it works is really my interest in this. More than anything, I could play pretty much any of these games on a PC. I could load it up a PC. I've already done it. I've changed out the back glass. So it's not about the games. It's just about what's possible with the Arcade1Up PCB. That hardware, that piece of hardware that you've bought and you've purchased and that you've owned uses an Android background in terms of the software side of it. So there's just a lot of possibilities for Android being an open source platform to be able to do what you want to do with hardware that you own. In terms of like the legality of the ROMs and things like that, if you own all 3 tables, you could dump them and still put them onto one table. So you can do many things with that interface. So for you and what you decide to do, that's 100% up to you to make that decision on how you want to mod your particular hardware things. But Mystery Encoder has put together this interface, and nothing in this script or anything to that effect is illegal in terms of ROMs. It's really just allowing you to unlock some of the potential of your PCB, and he's done so much work into this interface. I'm just excited that he's doing this and I get to test it out. The testing of it is what really excites me, and I'm waiting to see what happens. So we're doing this in real time. It looks like there's about 30 more seconds left of copying the payload into the DRAM, and I'm not the most technical coder, so I actually don't know what copying payload to DRAM means. So if I had some feedback to Mystery Encoder, if you wanted to help explain that to the layperson, that might be something to add into the log section, so that way people can just slightly understand a little bit more about what's happening at this time. Because last time when we were putting this together, we had to install the driver, then we had to do the configure of the networking, and then everything else we did the installation of the APK. So I don't remember this particular step. So it says waiting for the network adapter to connect. If this takes longer than 5 minutes, please close the application, physically reboot your cabinet, and then retry the process. Additionally, you can try a different micro USB cable. Oh, so now my PC just uninstalled the USB, and now it just reinstalled it again. It just connected. Okay, good. I just heard it disconnect and reconnect. Awesome. So now it says PCB setup is complete. Please run step 2, configure networking now. So that one unchecked and this one loaded up. This is super dummy proof. All I did was did 1 and then 2. Okay, cool. So let's do it. Configure networking, and network adapter is connected via USB. The connect driver is correct using. Configuring network adapter should have been successful. If you get the prompt, just hit yes. I'm going to hit yes on this networks, okay? And then it hit yes, and then I didn't see what happened here. Oh, it just went away. Okay, so I think I'm ready. I think this went away, And now I have these tools and this APK installs available. So APK installs, and then I can update the launcher, I can back up high stores, or I can dump stuff. So cool, the PCB setup is now done. I can't do anything here, can't mess anything up, I can't disconnect anything. Let's go ahead and install all 3 tables. Let's do install update for the Marvel. We're gonna install all 3, and then I'm gonna unplug it, turn it on for the first time, see what happens. This is super user friendly. I'm really excited for Mystery Encoder putting this together, and I'm just testing it out for the first time just for educational purposes more than anything, but this is super exciting. Between steps 1 and 2, this is where most people were having issues. It wasn't really the PCB getting recognized into your PC that was the issue. It was kind of this configure networking step that essentially, if I could dumb it down, what's happening is he's converting the PCB to be able to be recognized as a network adapter, an RNDIS or something, and that's what is allowing the transfer of the information from the PCB into your PC. Probably butchered exactly what's really happening, but to my understanding, that's it in a nutshell. So people were having issues with their network devices, they were deleting network drivers, trying to do all sorts of random things. But if you followed his original instructions, there was many people on even version 1.0, the very first video that I did, that had 0 issues. It was just a small handful of people with either older PCs or people that were having issues with using a Mac that wasn't Mac enabled at the time. But every single version since, Mystery Encoder has tried to make it more and more dummy proof, more and more idiot proof for people to just get in here, click some buttons, and really get it going. So we finished installing the Williams, and we're going to install and update the Williams one, and that's it. And I think that's it. I don't think I really have to do anything with these tools section where it says update the launcher, backup high scores, or restore high scores. This might be a functionality if you have existing high scores and you want to just back that up into a file. And then I'm gonna click these 2 and see what happens. And I believe this update launcher, he's trying to make this future proof where you can actually update information, or if he updates the launcher, you could just update the front end instead of having to redo everything over again. So I think I'm done. I think I installed all 3 tables. Let's just do a backup high scores to see what happens. And says backing up Williams high score, an error occurred, can't check the file for existence. Okay, maybe I don't have high scores yet. Restore high scores, uploading Williams high score. Okay, so I'm not sure where. Okay, so if I don't have the backup and restoring, then it's looking for these APKs in this section for the profile. So if you're backing up stuff for the first time, maybe these functions aren't truly working yet. We'll see. And then what happens if I click update launcher? Installing new launcher APK, successfully uploaded file. Okay, well, it installed something, so maybe I had to do this, I wasn't sure, but I think I'm done. And look, this is the secret options menu, which says there is a combination on the cabinet you can enter once the new launcher is installed. Figure it out. Hint, the left white button equals down, the right white button equals up. Okay, interesting. Once you figure it out, re-enter the same code here. We'll have to play around with that secret menu to see what that does, but that's Mystery Encoder. I love it. He's putting together some Easter eggs so that there's more to come besides what's here. But I think I'm done. I'm going to close out this here. I'm going to unplug this now from the PC. Okay, going to shut down my PC and flip it back to the mode. And let's see what happens. All right. So we're going to unplug this, switch it back on, and I will bring this camera along so you guys can see what's happening with me for the first time. So let's check it out. So here we are. I have this spinning right here. And again, normally you wouldn't be opening this up at all. You would already have this completely covered. You would just be entering from the back and entering the PCB. Disclaimer, I've been modding my PC, or sorry, my pinball plenty of times, and this is the reason why I've been loving this. Look at this. This is the Marvel pinball interface with the front end here. So I'm gonna click to the right. Oh, and there's a Star Wars, so I'm pressing the right flipper. And not only is it switching to the 3 different user interfaces, so I have Williams Pinball, then I go back to Star Wars Pinball or Marvel Pinball. But he has the flipper solenoids flipping each time you press it, in addition to the sound going off. And this is just repeating the screen, but you wanted a better user interface for a front end, you freaking got it. I mean, this is freaking amazing from just the look standpoint. Now you don't have those 3 little icons. You now have Marvel Pinball, Star Wars Pinball, and Williams Pinball on here, and he figured out how. I keep pressing the button. Look, I'm pressing the button and he figured out how to tap into the solenoids firing and have it used in the menu settings too. That's just absolutely freaking amazing. So kudos to the mystery coder, but it works super simple. Let's get it here and launch the Williams tables and see if it launches up. And I'd have to ask him, but I do think he did code something where you can back out to the menu. So here's the launcher menu. I should have asked him if there's a way, but here I am in the Williams table menu. Alright, let's see if there's a hotkey. Do I maybe hold down the launcher button? Maybe I hold down the launcher button to see if I can back into the menu. That would be the only thing I need to figure out. And if I do figure out how to get back into the main settings, he hasn't written the README guide for like how to get into this, but I believe there's a hotkey back into the main menu. I wonder if I can get it. We'll see. But if not, you could always just flip it off and then go back too. So that's a really cool thing. Alright. This is so freaking cool. Anyways. Alright. That's it. I'm gonna flip it off just so we can see the other tables working. I'm sure he probably figured out some sort of hotkey to press. I just don't know what it is, but otherwise I'll make a quick update to the video if I can. But that was it. This was less than 20 minutes to do the installation with the new GUI, the new graphical user interface, if you will. And I have to figure out what that hotkey is, because I'm sure he programmed it, because he went into this effort, and I think that was the #1 thing of having that functionality to go back into the menu to switch between the 3, and then also having a nice user front end experience. So you boot it up and boom, there's the Marvel table again, there's Star Wars, there's Williams. Let's go to the Marvel table and just load up Marvel just so that we can see that it worked. And that was so simple. The GUI was amazingly simple. It was fantastic. I can't give him enough credit for what he did. Maybe I hold down these 2 buttons and it goes back to the main menu. I don't know. I want to figure it out. Maybe I just have to play around with the secret code. Let's see. Let's turn on the menu a little bit. Oh! I went back. Did you see that? Did you see that? I went back to the main menu. I think I just held down these 2 white buttons and it went back to the main menu. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, let me try it. Let me go back to Star Wars Pinball. Alright. What did he do? Okay. So if I'm in this one. Okay, I'm in the Star Wars Pinball menu. Okay. There's Star Wars Pinball. If I hold down the 2 white buttons. Let's hold down the 2 white buttons like I was doing earlier and see if that takes me back to the menu. I think that's what I was doing. I was holding down the 2 white buttons. Okay. I don't know how, but I went back to the actual menu. Alright. Was that it? Yeah. Oh, there it is! Okay. I don't know if I have to hold it down or just press it twice. Alright, let's try it again. Okay. This is fun for me. Figuring this out was fun. Maybe you just press it twice. Okay, so I'm in the menu. Launch to continue. Alright, let's just press. You just press these 2 buttons twice. You just press it twice and it exits out to the menu. That's freaking amazing. So, I mean, Mystery Coder, you did it. I'm so excited between the possibilities of what you did here. This is the new front end for Marvel, Star Wars, and Williams. Version 3 is amazing. I don't have anything left to say except a big FU to the Mystery Coder for everything that you've done for this community and making this possible on these Arcade1Up pinball machines. Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate you, even though you could give a F about anybody else, but you're awesome. Thanks again. Talk to you later. There it is, boom.